So it's that time of year again where people are writing their resolutions for next year and saying, oh, it's been a good or bad year, or will we look past this decade? But this time, and 2020, it's going to be what films are coming out. Some ground rules to be laid, like no, I'm not going to mention films that have been released in much of the world or in film festivals around 2019 and have been released in the UK in 2020. And also, all these releases I'm going to mention are UK. Like, if you're like, I don't know, from United States or you're from Australia, just let you know. Sure, if I mislead you, if they're too late or too early, just let you know. And also, I'm not going to mention every single movie that's mentioned. Like I said, either it's not in my radar or I have nothing to really comment about the film. So, let's get to see what films I'm really looking forward for 2020. Winter releases! For January, it looks pretty uneventful, but there's mainly just a lot of Oscar contenders and films released much of the world from last year or in film festivals like Jojo Rabbit, 1917 and Bombshell and The Lighthouse, which the latter looks fairly interesting. But if there's one film to pick up but is probably Bad Boys for Life, which comes out in the 17th of January. Even though I've never really got into Bad Boys films, particularly the last two were directed by Michael Bay, and Will Smith didn't exactly have the shiniest reputation in Hollywood after films like Suicide Squad, After Earth, Aladdin, Collateral Beauty, and Gemini Man. He's kind of more of a hit and miss actor, but this, it's probably not the most eventful film that's going to happen, but yeah. But moving over to February, but there's this one film I really want to see. Like I said, I'm not mentioning films I released last year or were around film festival circuits around that last year, but Parasite. Like, oh my word, this movie's got so unreal praise. Like, it's not just considered one of the best ever Korean movies ever made, but it's already had this surreal reputation. It's been one of the best films ever made. Like, it's already somewhere, I think, like somewhere in the 40s or 50s at the best films by MIDB. It's got 99% Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's up the 90s area at Metacritic. The praise for that film is somewhat unreal. And also on 7th of February, same day as Parasite, is Birds of Prey, or the Fabulously Epidemic of One Harley Quinn, or the Adventures of Harley Quinn. Man, that's a tongue twister. Yeah, after the questionable Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn is back, finally with her own spin-off, which looks really intriguing. And apparently they're going to like ignore the events of Suicide Squad, which I have no, like, kind of like Rise of Skywalker. I have no idea how they're going to like really pull it off, but this kind of somewhat intrigues me that she finally gets her own spin-off film. Like, if you notice, like, I think there's like 4 like superhero movies that are female led, which is like, yay, gender equality. There's like that Harley Quinn movie, Wonder Woman, Black Widow, I think there's the Eternals with Angelina Jolie. Well, seems like it's going to be one impressive year for female superhero led films. On the 14th of February, there's Sonic the Hedgehog. After the car crash, that was the first trailer, which where Sonic looked more like a 7-year-old stuck in a Sonic themed onesie that clearly didn't fit him or her. And this one, they made it way more reminiscent to the cartoons and video games it was based on, rather than the abomination that was the first trailer. The second trailer, in my opinion, is definitely a lot better, but I'm kind of skeptical about the dialogue and the acting in the first one. I feel like, really? Unless they like edited them out or like reshot it. Or something, but I'm kind of looking forward. I'm kind of skeptical at best about the Sonic movie. Spring releases! Well, for spring, starting off with March, on the 6th of March there's Onwards, which is a film by Pixar featuring the voice cast of Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, who are both from the Avengers films. This one kind of looks really intriguing at best. It kind of interested me, even though I'm not much of a fan of animation as I used to be, but should be interested. It's basically in the world of elves, unicorns, and mermaids, and all things fantasy related. To, I presume, elves or dwarves. try to get their father back, but whoopie-doo, they have 24 hours left and they already half did them spell, which only has hilariously just his trousers half, like his bottom half. For 20th of March, there's A Quiet Place Part 2, which I seriously need to watch the first film because it got so much great reviews and it's around the same time when horror films, particularly around the mid-2000s, finally got smart and treated people with actual IQ level horror, not something from the 2000s where it's either dumb or just gory, or both. There also, same day, 20th of March, there's Trolls World Tour. I'm kind of like pessimistic about film because the first film was kind of seen as like rehashes of previously released music but with bright colours. And this one, they're exploring more genres. Like, I totally get if there's some fans of the series, but for me I was like, okay, this is when it's a sequel and I was like, okay, there's really fans of this now, okay. Yeah, I just hope they don't ruin Pink Floyd for me. Just hope they don't do that. For 27th of March, there's Mulan remake, the live action one. I think this one I'm kind of the most skeptical at because Mulan is not just one of my favourite Disney films, but one of my favourite films ever. And if you're wondering about Mulan 2, it's awkward. But for Mulan, apparently they're going to be way more accurate to the legend and remove the side characters, remove the musical numbers, and add villains that were more accurate allegedly to the legend, which again should be interesting, or unless they're doing what I call the China baiting, which is kind of like in Rogue One where they just had more Asian characters to pretty much like China. Look at this property, even though initially Mulan got a limited release when it came out in the late 90s in China. Mainly China and Disney were falling out after I think it was Kundun, which is a movie about the Dalai Lama, which really angered China. But about Mulan, I'm kind of optimistic and I'm kind of skeptical at best, but I am going to watch it. For 2nd of April, there's No Time to Die. After the honestly forgettable Spectre and the brilliant Skyfall, Daniel Craig returns to James Bond for one last time, this time with Rami Malek as the villain. This time, no Sam Mendes this time, because he was directing 1917, and replaced by Corey Fujioka, who wrote it, and he directed the Netflix film Beast of No Nations and Jane Eyre, which should be an interesting take, but this time we just hope Sam Smith doesn't do the song. And for 8th of April, there's the New Mutants. I pray to God this movie does not get delayed. Seriously, I swear it was initially released, correct me if I'm wrong, back at 2017, around October 2017, but they have literally delayed it. I think it was like reshoots after reshoots, another reshuffle, and a merger with Disney and Fox. This movie, I hope is actually good after like a 2-year delay. Like this film, it felt like it took an eternity. Just, please just don't pull a Fantastic Four, which is suck all joy out of the film. Just be like Bauerlicha, where it's delayed to death and it's somehow still good. And 1st of May is Black Widow. Like I said, female-led superhero films are really having a big scene at the moment. After she was, spoiler alert, killed off in Endgame, this time, the movie taking place after the events of Civil War. She returns to her family in Budapest, Bulgaria, and I kind of like David Harbour's character, like, "Is this Witz?" in that Eastern European accent. And I kind of like seeing where there's some fragments of a building or sculpture being lifted up or something. I don't remember great much of a trailer, but this should be interesting where Black Widow will go in Budapest after Civil War. And 15th of May, there's Scoob. After way before Zac Efron apparently almost died from an illness, I think it was in Papua New Guinea with a filming reality TV show called Killing Zac Efron. Too ironic to be true. He was voicing, I think, Fred from the Scooby-Doo reboot called Scoob. Scoop-dee-whoop. Scooby-dee-whoop. Okay, although Scooby-Doo did not have the brightest records because he has two pretty mediocre films released back in the early 2000s. With that, I'm I kind of want to watch it, but only if I had someone inviting me with kids. Or just watch it on a plane. 15th of May, again, same day as Scoob, there's the untitled Saw project. Leave that franchise alone. It was the franchise that started what's now agreed to be Hollywood's just really dumb phrase of torture porn, where everyone gets blown up like piñatas, and they just give you money, and the IQ and the smartness of horror movies just dwindle to they just cater to toddlers. I swear. Untitled Saw project, that's a no for me. 22nd of May, there's Fast and Furious 9. Although no trailer's been out yet, I'm both kind of optimistic and kind of pessimistic about this movie because I kind of like the Hobbs and Shaw movie, but it's kind of forgettable at best. But I do like Idris Elba's character. I think Fast and Furious, Faith Furious, where the main character turns evil. And it's currently Vin Diesel's character turns evil. And it's currently my least favourite out of all of them. Just because the plot at best made no sense at all. And had some insane continuity errors in the mix. It's like if the writers or directors did not watch any of the films that came previously. But only informed about the important beats. Although and SpongeBob Sponge on the Run. I'm kind of intrigued by this movie due to its different animation style, being entirely CG. I feel like, I hope it's. I kind of like the second film, which I forgot the title of, but I thought the first one was flawed and just kind of okay at best. But I'm kind of more interested in SpongeBob than Fast and Furious. Then for the 29th of May 2020, Artemis Fowl. I think it was going to be released in 2019, but it was delayed till 29th of May 2020. The trailer's backlash got incredibly swift. Maybe just for one reason, people wanted Avengers Endgame trailer. Like Disney be like, here's trailer for Artemis Fowl. Fans I want Endgame trailer right now, right here, right now. And of course Disney's okay, get Endgame trailer, we'll delay Artemis Fowl since you show no interest. Yeah, I think this movie is bound to bomb somehow because due to how pretty bad the backlash was. But I feel sad about that because it was just backlash that's not really related to the movie at all. I have not read the books it was based on, but I'm kind of curious of what it could be, even though it's not going to be the biggest money seller Disney's going to do this year. Summer releases. For 5th of June, there's Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, after DC finally got their act together after some bad movies like Justice League, Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, and after the passably flawed Shazam and the brilliantly terrifying Joker, I'm so ready to see what Gal Gadot has to offer in Wonder Woman 84. Taking place in 1984, obviously, during the midst of the Cold War, and she finds out Chris Pine is alive, and she has to fight a new threat, being a cheetah, which is very intriguing at best. And I'm kind of really want to know what was the 80s soundtrack, since a lot of movies set in the 80s have some pretty good soundtrack. Critics may see this as really taking too much comfort with the past and too escapist, but I'm kind of interested in what soundtrack solely was going to be in Wonder Woman 84. There's 19th of June, there's Soul by Pixar, directed by Pete Docter, who did Up and Inside Out, if I can remember. And this one has Jamie Foxx as a man really conscious about his future and about himself and about his soul. And Yes, the soul looks like a flame, like a little torch flame you put on top of a candle. I think teaser, like I said, compared to Onwards, I knew this teaser just give me little to know about it, like little to care about it so far. I'm not being really negative about the film, but I have no idea about the film at all, just from the teaser alone. And yeah, I kind of know very little about Soul that comes out on 19th June. But 10th of July, there's two big films that's going to be talked about for a while. There's Ghostbusters Afterlife, which again is going to ignore the infamous film that was the 2016 Ghostbuster reboot, and going to be a direct third installment from the previous two films that came before. Yeah, after the film got the most insane level hate ever, that's more hate than the Cats movie and Sonic combined. And the movie got some hate. Just, the movie's kind of forgettable. But at least it's not the Cats. But I'm kind of interested in where they're going with this one, since it takes place in the countryside, not in New York. And apparently, what I've learned from a trip from New York 3 years ago, that the station that was actually filmed there was apparently one of the first responders from the September 11th attack. Bet you didn't know that. There's Minions Rise of Gru. Again, I have no idea what's going to happen in this movie. I'm presuming, again, it's going to be a prequel to Despicable Me films. And I'm guessing it's going to be taking place either in the 90s, 80s, maybe the 70s, maybe the 2000s, even though I think nothing blossomed from that quite yet from the movies. Well, I think I liked the first Minion film back in 2015 where they accidentally overthrew the British monarchy, even though it didn't have Prince Andrew, so thank God. And I think I wasn't that on board with Despicable Me 3, even though I liked it. With Despicable Me 3, I think the humour was kind of dry compared to the other two films. So, I'm kind of on board with this one. Again, 17th July, two films again. There's Tenet, directed by Christopher Nolan, has Robert Pattinson and David John Washington. This one, it looks insane. Even though we kind of know what's going to happen, it's an espionage spy film, and it looks like it's set in India. And what really sets it apart is the rewinding effect. Like, they shot in a trailer where a boat, it looks like it's going backwards, and it just really flipped the table and had the car literally on the floor in the motorway just flip back up and just drive backwards like nothing happened. And also how I do this is like driving in front in normal, and the other car behind is driving backwards like this is normal. Like, this trailer throws every insane idea and just throws it in one movie. I'm kind of interested where this is going, Tenet, but also on the same day, 17th of July, is Top Gun Maverick. Again, I'm guessing it's set 30 years after the events of the first film, and as this time Tom Cruise, Miles Teller, and they fly planes, and they have balloons, take my breath away. Okay, I should stop singing by now. 31st of July, this is Morbius with Jared Leto. I think it's taking place in the same universe as Venom. I found it an interesting yet flawed film, Venom, but I kind of like some qualities, I dislike some qualities. This time, it has I have no idea on Disney. I have not a great idea of Spider-Man villains, but I think Morbius is a vampire of some sort. One more R-rated, one more adult areas down there, but I'm not. Even the person that doesn't understand the character, I'm kind of interested to see the trailer, even though it's not come out yet. 21st of August, Bill and Ted Face the Music. Yep, Keanu Reeves is huge at the moment. Not just the fourth John Wick movie and the fourth Matrix movie is coming out on the same day in 2021, even though that's a year too early to mention it right now. But even though I've not got too on board with Bill and Ted films, I'm kind of interested to see where they're going with this one. autumn releases. On the 11th of September 2020, there's The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Please, leave that franchise alone, please. I think this franchise is, I think it's kind of like the Lego franchise, where it's more interested in spin-off movies than probably giving an audience what they want. I think they're just, Warner Brothers are treating it like milking it a cow, like I think they just really run the milk. I think they've dried the cow up by now. Like, are they really wanting to do this by now? Do they had to do it? Like, let's get this over with. I think that's Warner Brothers' attitude at the moment. With these, I haven't seen any of them, but I think, judging by how people are starting to get tired of these films, so kind of is. I think it's kind of a bit tiring. 18th of September, there's The King's Man, not The King's Men, but King's Man. This time without Colin Farrell, without Eggsy. It's going to be taking place in World War One, which is kind of intriguing, but I was initially skeptical about this idea. But like, what did Eggsy do wrong to you? Apparently he might return for future installments, depending if this film actually succeeds or not. Even though I liked the first film, people had problems with the second film. I'm kind of curious what people would react to King's Man, particularly. On 16th of October, there's Halloween Kills. The first one was well received and broke a lot of box office records. I'm kind of want to see how the press coverage goes with that one. Halloween Kills, 16th of October. Then 6th of November, there's The Internals with Angelina Jolie, which I'm really interested in, even though there's no set photos, let alone a trailer. Again, 20th of November, there's Godzilla vs. Kong. I am very skeptical about this film. I liked the first Godzilla. I liked the King Kong movie that came out recently with Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, and Samuel L. Jackson. But I hated the King of the Monsters film that came out earlier in 2019. Yeah, I think that it was a major step down from the franchise. But even though we have not seen any clips or let alone set photos, I'm kind of incredibly skeptical about this movie because it might be like the last film of this so-called Monsterverse. Because why does everything need a verse in the title nowadays? On the 18th of December, we are treated to not just one, not just two, but 3 films I'm really, really interested in. Like, they're like all crammed in one day. There's Dune, directed by Denis Villeneuve, who did Sicario, he did Arrival, he did Blade Runner 2049 and Sicario, and he also did Enemy and Prisoners, which I need to check out. He's taking on one of the most loved sci-fi literatures of all time, and one of the most polarizing David Lynch's movies ever made. And also he has an amazing cast like Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro, and also Jason Momoa, Timothy Chalamet. And the list goes, and Zendaya, and the list goes on about this really big and really impressive cast, and it takes place in outer space, which is kind of something to behold, to be honest. And also, again, 18th December, Coming to America, or Coming to America 2, which after Eddie Murphy practically vanished off everyone's mind in the 2010s, mainly he appeared in I don't know. I think it was Shrek Forever After, and I'm struggling to think where he was in during this decade. Okay, basically he disappeared off the face of the earth. Well, however, recently he appeared in Dynamite Is My Name from Netflix, and he's being considered probably to win the Golden Globe for Best Actor in Comedy. I'm really intrigued what he has to offer after 30 years. If you haven't not seen Coming to America, I seriously recommend it. I think it was one point Kanye West's favourite film. Kanye says some weird things. And also West Side Story. I was really skeptical when it was announced. A remake of a Best Picture winner. Surely that is too perfect to be remade. Until you find out who's directing it, Steven Spielberg. Oh, okay, I won't judge you. It has an impressive cast, and the set photo looks pretty impressive. Sorry, if I criticise you, sorry. Yeah, I thought my attitude towards remakes, like if it's way too perfect, don't remake it. Like there's no way on earth you're going to like top that. But because with Steven Spielberg at the helm, yeah, I'm kind of really optimistic where it's going to go because he has a pretty impressive resume, like the Tintin movie, Lincoln, Ready Player One, Bridge of Spies, The Post. Yeah, he has directed some pretty impressive movies, but he may. Let's just hope he starts the decade off to the right foot, being West Side Story. And this is Elijah Wells, and bye!